Yes, yes, boys. City take a win today. 1-0 over Wolves. Big, nice win for Champions League qualification. Shoots us up the table. We are looking good for that. All things football. Hello, how are you? Welcome to the stream. My guy, always here, always on time. Very nice, very appreciated as always. So, before we do get into the game today, I want to say thank you. We hit 130 subs on the channel. Very nice, very cool number to hit. 20 away from the goal of 150. Also, shout out to the people on TikTok. We're approaching 200 TikTok followers, which is really cool because I just post some shorts on there and we're close to 200 followers and some videos are hitting like 6K, 5K, 4K on views. So very, very cool. Always appreciate that as well. So if you're from TikTok, do subscribe to the YouTube. Help us get to the 150 goal. Always appreciate that. Anyway, let's talk about the game. I do apologize that there was no watch along today, but it was a Friday and I was at work. So I did get to catch most of the game, but obviously at work can't do the watch along, unfortunately. Any Saturday, Sunday game, or day that I'm not working where there's a game, I will be doing a watch along because that's the best. That's the most fun. Interact with the chat. Watch City score goals live. That's the best. So we look at the game here. KDB with the sole goal, 35th minute of the game. If you look at the stats, I mean, really, in all honesty, it was kind of a dead game. It was all City as far as possession-wise. I mean, it says 64%, but it feels like it was even more than that, to be honest. Wolves definitely gave themselves a few semi-chances. Probably should have scored in the first half. They had a breakaway, 2 on no one, essentially. And I think it was Bellegarde tries to play it across goal, sweat it across, and it's just a really poor ball that the other Wolves player is not able to reach, and we get lucky on that one there. He could have shot and scored. He could have played a just semi-decent ball, and he would have scored. So a weird one from him at that moment for sure. Following that, they do hit the post on multiple occasions, which is a bit weird. I think Forrest at the last weekend hit the post a few times as well, if I remember right. We had Gibbs White hit the post. So I don't know. We're getting a little lucky there with the post is playing for us lately. But Cunha bangs one off the post on a crazy long-distance shot. And Nori puts one off the post in the first half. He should have scored there, has a follow-up. Should have scored again, but Vardiol clears off the line. So other than those three moments, and I mean, the Cunha post one was really not even a half chance. It was an out-of-nowhere shot that he had no business scoring. Anyway, they didn't really do much else, I'm not going to lie. Second half was very dead, very, very dead. Not a whole lot going on. Minimal chances for both sides, which it kind of happens. You get to this point in the season. Wolves obviously are playing extremely well lately, but they're not going to reach, Champions League, or they're not going to reach European football. They can't. They're on 41 points. They're well out of range for that. They're not going to be relegated. The relegation battle is obviously done. So while they're playing to impress a new manager, they're not playing for safety and they're not playing for European football. Whereas City are obviously playing for something much more meaningful, playing to try to get Champions League qualification. So there's maybe a little bit more incentive to play from City. For what it's worth, I did think Wolves tried to play. I don't think they sat back and chilled like a lot of teams do against us. Our defense was really solid. I was really impressed, all in all. I will say, if we look at the lineup here, not Nico O'Reilly's best game. Definitely not his best game, and I think it's evidenced by that substitution right at about 60 minutes where he comes off. Vardiol moves out to the left, and we bring Akanji back into the team, and the defense looked a little bit more solid there. O'Reilly was in the midfield a bit, moved into that role, and just looked a little sloppy, a little tired. And that's just what's going to happen when he's played so much consistent first-team football the last month or so, and he's not quite used to that. So I don't know. I'm not tanking his stocks or anything like that. It wasn't his best game. Other than that, I would say Gvardiol was my man of the match. What a player! He had obviously the goal line clearance. So solid in defense. Moved out to left back, was dangerous, and he's just so smooth on the ball. He's got to be one of the best, I don't know, 5 defenders in the world. I think he's so underrated for what he can do. He can play left back, center back. He could probably play striker at some point if he needed to, because he's got a banging shot on him. Like, Gvardiol is an absolute unicorn of a football player. What a player. Diaz was fine. Caught out a little bit on high line, but again, the high line's not really Diaz's forte. He's not quick. He's not fast. So he's always going to get caught out if that line is so high as we normally do. If he's standing here and a player gets in behind, you're just going to beat him for pace. It's not really his fault. It's more of a tactical thing. Ederson, basically nothing to do. Distribution was fine. I don't even know if he made a save, to be honest. It was nothing there. Nunez, solid, fine. Nothing spectacular. Maybe not quite as good as he's been in recent games. I thought, just average. Gundogan, probably not the best today from Gundo, who I will say has been very good over the last 2-3 months. Today was probably his worst game in that time period. Subbed out for, I don't remember who he subbed out for. Someone who the subs, by the way, basically no impact aside from Akanji, who I thought was fine. I don't know if I saw any of these guys get on the ball and do anything at all. Nico G, Phil, James, Rico, the game was just dead in the second half. Not a lot going on. KDB, though, does get the winning goal on a creation from Jeremy Doku. Very, very creative. Great ball. Finding Kev in the box. He did a lot of excellent work to get open, get to the byline, cut it back. KDB is there to tap it home. Kev, I thought was solid. I don't think he was outstanding or, 9 out of 10 like he was a couple of weeks ago in that man of the match performance, but solid, scored the goal, had some nice passes, works really hard. That's something I do admire for Kev. He's obviously getting older and is leaving the club, but he still runs his heart out. Very, very good stuff from Kev today. Bernardo apparently gets man of the match. I don't know what for. I thought he was fine. Work rate's good. Backwards pass FC. Nothing going forward. So I don't know. Not my man of the match, I wouldn't say. I'd give it to Gvardiol, like I said. Marmoush, not really his game. He played more on the right today and kind of cut inside. I don't know. We just didn't seem like we got him the ball enough. Not really his game, which is fine. That happens. He makes runs. We didn't really get it to him consistently. No one whatsoever for Wolves stood out. To be honest, Nori, I guess, was all right. He should have been sent off. Probably a red on Bernardo. He almost broke his leg, but I guess VAR said no. I'm always unclear on what exactly they deemed a red and not. Like, it looked like he was going to break his leg. I thought it was a red, and they were just like, no. So I'm not sure on that one. I don't know how Silva got man of the match. He didn't score. All he did was roll on the ground. Yeah, exactly. I don't agree with this man of the match at all. I think that doesn't really make any sense to me. Cunha, I thought was, struggled a bit for them. He didn't have a whole lot to do. They didn't get him the ball very much. He did have like I said, shot hit the post that would have been a worldie of a goal. And I do rate the guy highly. I think if we didn't sign Marmoush in January, Cunha would be the one I would go for this summer. But obviously we have Marmoush, and they're kind of a similar player. They kind of do the same thing. Out on the left wing, can play 9, can play in behind the 9. So I guess it doesn't make sense. It does seem like he's going to be going to United as well this summer. So good move for him, but his career will probably die, as most do when they go to United. Andre, one of the players that I remember a couple of years ago, was linked with City. He wanted to come to City really bad, and just nothing ever happened. I thought he was fine. No one else really stood out for Wolves. I thought just average, to be honest, just kind of average. Anyway, I do want to see the table before we move on to look at some transfers and talk about some other things. But City win. Obviously, we have won 4 games in a row. I can't remember the last time we had 4-game winning streak in the Prem. It's probably maybe from the start of the season. I don't remember if we started out 4 wins in a row or if we even have had that at all. It's possible this is our first 4-game winning streak of the season, and it could not come at a better time. 3 points behind Arsenal, who do have a game in hand. Tough game against Bournemouth here. And to be honest, Arsenal might just kind of pack in the Premier League the rest of the way. There's not a lot to play for them. they've got PSG to worry about in Champions League. They're going to get Champions League qualifications for next season. Like, it doesn't, these Prem games don't really matter to them. So it's possible we catch them. Yeah, all things football says Arsenal need to sleep with their eye open. Like, it's very possible that we do catch them. And that would be more of like a fun thing for the fans on Twitter to banter the Arsenal fans that even in our worst season and one of your best, we still finished ahead of you. Anyway, Pep said in a press conference he basically doesn't care about that whatsoever. And, I mean, I do, I guess, on the side of it's nice, it's funny that Arsenal collapsed at the end and we get ahead of them at the end, but it doesn't really matter. All I care about is we get this top 5 right here. Newcastle, Chelsea, just a couple of points behind us. Chelsea are falling out of the race a bit. They have Liverpool. Who knows how strong a side Liverpool go with the rest of the way. Obviously, they're not playing for anything else. They've won the Prem. They're out of all the competitions. So, I mean, they could just play the kids the last 4 games or so, and it wouldn't really matter. Or they could just, decide they want to go for as many points as they can. They can get, 12 more, 94. I don't know if they care about something like that. Hoping Brighton do a job against Newcastle like they did against us. Yeah, that would be fantastic. That would be great. Newcastle do have a tough one there with Brighton on their day. Brighton can probably beat anyone in the Premier League, to be honest. Forest fading a bit in this Champions League race. They've got Palace, who are obviously a pretty good side, and then us. Next game, it's not for a week or so, but it is going to be Southampton, who are obviously relegated. One of the worst teams I've ever seen in my life. 80 goals conceded. Man, jeez. 80 goals conceded in a season with 4 games to go. I mean, jeez. Anyway, so I do expect City to win that, put them on 67, and 2 games to go, 67 points. That's got to be enough to lock in Champions League. There's no way 67 points will get you 6th in the Premier League table. I can't imagine that at all happening. So, huge step for qualification, like I said. Other fixtures remaining: Southampton on Saturday, next Saturday, not tomorrow, obviously. Then we go to the FA Cup final. Crystal Palace, 10 a.m. I will have a watch along for both of these games. Of course, I will be here, so do join me for those. Watch along again here Sunday, 2 p.m. kickoff for me, which is nice. It's kind of a later one. Normally they're at like 10 or 7 in the morning. And the final game of the season, Fulham. I'm hoping that, let's say we win this Southampton game, win the FA Cup, and then right here, this game, maybe we just need a draw and we've locked in Champions League. So the final game of the season, Fulham is kind of just chill. We can play the kids, give Kev a nice send-off. Maybe he does like 45 minutes or an hour or something like that, and we can give him a good clap off the field. This obviously being his final game at the Etihad. Scoring tonight, could be his last goal at the Etihad. Maybe one more, maybe a hat trick against Bournemouth. That would be a lovely way to send him on his way. Then, of course, huge little break. I say huge, miniature little break here. We play the Club World Cup. Very exciting for me because it is in the United States, and I'm very, very excited. No way that May 18th game doesn't get rescheduled. Yeah, I think this game is going to be rescheduled. I'm going to say they push it to like Tuesday or Wednesday, probably, of May, I don't know, 20th or 21st or something. I don't know if that's been rescheduled yet, but surely that'll get changed around, I would imagine. You're probably right about that. Club World Cup will be in the United States, like I said. These games are in, I think, the northeast of the country, so I have no chance to go see them. However, Juventus City is in Orlando. I will be going to that. I haven't bought my ticket yet because they're expensive, and I'm hoping maybe they can come down a little bit in some price. But I do plan on going to the game and doing like a game vlog type thing that I can put here on YouTube. So that's my hope. I can take my wife, and she will film kind of me at the game, watching Man City for the first time in my life. We'll be very, very excited for that. And hopefully we advance, go to the final and win this thing so we can get that cash prize and then just spend it all on transfers and buy the best players in the world, etc., etc. Anyway, that is most of the game recap here. I do want to say I think people probably overreact a little bit to every Kev goal. You know, he scores, and people are like, get him a new contract, sign him up, get him back now. And, you know, I don't want to overreact to anything and say stuff like, we let him leave too early. I do think, in all honesty, it's the right time for Kev to leave and head out, find a new project, a new way to play, and a new team. As sad as it is, 10 years at the club is fantastic, amazing. He's our best ever player, and nothing he's done will ever be forgotten from any City fan. So it is what it is. He'll be leaving in the summer. That wage bill will be coming off the books, and hopefully we are able to spend it on Florian Wirtz, bring him to the squad, and improve everything. But we will wait to see if that deal does go through or not. There's some rumors out there that it's getting close, so maybe we see in the next week, month, or so. Any news on the Wirtz? I've heard some mixed signals. There was some reports on Twitter from some potential people who are allegedly ITK people that they think it's done, that he's coming to City. None of that is obviously confirmed. Fabrizio Romano hasn't said anything. David Ornstein hasn't said anything. Jack Goran hasn't said anything. Sam Lee, those are the people that are like the tier 1 sources for City stuff, and they haven't said anything. So some of the faceless Twitter accounts that say they know stuff allegedly today said that Gibbs White is done and Florian Wirtz is done. It remains to be seen. Maybe they're just guessing and maybe they'll be right, but who knows if they actually have any information at all. So I do hope it's true, of course, hope it's true. But yeah, we are pushing about 20 minutes here, which is nice. So that is my recap. That's most of the transfer talk. There's not a whole lot else to talk about. Like some people say, he wants Bayern. Some people say he wants us. The only thing they agree on is his parents want Bayern. That is true. I've seen that a lot. His dad, who is his agent, wants Bayern, wants him to stay in Germany, while apparently, allegedly, he wants to come to England and play for City. But, you know, Madrid could have his coach, and maybe that changes things. So I don't know. It's very fluid, I think. I don't think anyone actually knows anything just yet. I don't think the decision has been made, most likely. So hopefully before the season ends, we know if we're getting him or if he's going somewhere else or if he's staying. It's waiting until August on this one would really suck. Hopefully we find out sometime this month in May if we got him or if we got to move our attention to find someone else to replace Kev. So remains to be seen. Anyway, that is my recap. I obviously appreciate everybody watching. Do like, comment, sub to the channel. Get me to 150. Very much appreciated that. Check me out on the shorts and on TikTok. That's where I post my short form stuff, quick transfer recaps, goal reactions, stuff like that. So anyway, thank you guys. I will be back whenever there's some more news. Hopefully we get some tomorrow and I can do a nice stream about transfers tomorrow as it's Saturday. So anyway, see you guys.